don't know this brother. This brother been on ABC, NBC, NBT, FTV. He's been all around the world. He got about 100 books on the shelf. Phenomenal young man. So I am elated to have you sitting here. And so I just want you to tell us, talk to us, what is your test and how did you get to your testimony?
Absolutely. Can we give it up for Miss Shanice? Come on. Let's give it up for her. Come on, the day she was given life, she's speaking life into our life. And so she truly is a jewel in God's crown, and so we appreciate her. What up, though? Come on, I said, what up, though? Listen, it's an honor to be able to be here with all of you bright, incredible, smiling faces. Can we give it up to this amazing panel? If you don't feel nothing, I need you to check your pulse, because these individuals have really poured from their heart. And I want to share mine as well. I remember some years ago, I'm a son of the city of Detroit, on the east side. That's the east side as well. I believe your the testimony of Israel's ministry, your message is stumbling blocks, a stepping stone. What God will do is He'll use your setup as a He'll use your setback as a setup for your greatest comeback. Yeah. Somebody knows He'll use your tragedy as strategy. Somebody got a testimony to give. You don't look like what you've been through. And somebody else, move the color on the screen. I tell you, just like Sophia, all my life, I had to fight through the storm. The rain, the trial, the sickness, and the pain, but I'm grateful I don't look like what I've been through. I remember some years ago, it was about 1999, and I'm about 18 years old or something of that nature, and a guy, I'm in a convenience store, he inconveniences me, walks up to me, I recognize him from church, and he looks at me and he says some words that are totally chilling to me. He said, "I thought you died." Yeah, I'm looking at you just like you looking at me. I felt a heat rush in my body. I'd never been so angry in my life. My fist balled up. I was getting ready to have a Will Smith, Chris Rock moment. And I wasn't gonna be Chris. You feel me? It took me back to the fact that so many people gave up on me. And here it is. I was one of the ones who almost gave up on myself. Growing up in a single parent household, where my father's not there, and the question becomes, how do you play a role if you weren't given a script? How do you become a man if you don't see one, much less interact with one? And I'm in school about a sophomore, as I rewind time back, sophomore in high school. My favorite two classes in school were gym and lunch. I love to chase the girls in the gym, sit down and eat with the girls at lunch. It's all right, you can Kevin Hart me back in my pants, it's all right. I pretty much loved school. I was kind of lethargic in class, and I was experiencing these chest pains. And I didn't want to talk to anybody about it, because oftentimes as black boys becoming men, we're not given the space and place to be vulnerable. Vulnerability and masculinity oftentimes cannot coexist in the same space. Oftentimes vulnerability is seen as femininity. Don't cry. Crying is for girls. You fall off a bike at the age of 4, stop crying. No, I'm 4, not 44. Show me what to do that it's all right that I can cry and I can still maintain my masculinity. That's right. But oftentimes masculinity, the prefix of masculinity is pronounced mask for a reason. Because we mask it. We mask it with muscles, Mercedes, phone book full of ladies, but we're a hurting boy internally that we have not dealt with the vestiges of our past and the trauma of what it is that we experienced. And I'm in school and I can't breathe by halftime over my friend's house watching a football game. And I've been experiencing these chest pains for a couple of weeks. It got so bad, my mama stopped me in the hallway at home and he said, "Hey, something's going on with you." I said, "No, I'm good." Because we always shrug off the pain. For me, pain is weakness leaving the body. And I'm over my friend's house. It felt like somebody was stabbing me on my chest. I couldn't breathe by halftime. His mother takes me to the hospital. My mother meets me there. The doctors do a CT scan of the chest. They think it's a punctured lung. I'm like, no, it's got to be something different. Doctors swirling around my hospital bed. I'm looking at the light thinking I'm about to go into the light. I mean, I felt like I was about to leave my body. The pain was so bad. And they do a CT scan of the chest, they do an x-ray, they see they need to take me to surgery immediately. The doctors cut me open, they see my cells in my body are growing so fast, they can see them growing with the naked eye. Around my heart, my trachea, my esophagus, my voice box. The place I'm speaking to you out of right now, ironically, I use my voice for a living, and that's where the tumor was. Long story short, they remove the tumor, and they tell me, Eddie, we have a diagnosis for you. Doctor walks into my hospital room, my mother's clutching my hand, see a tear streaming down her face, and she's a praying mama. And the doctor's looking at his script, and I'm like, Doc, look at me in my eye, what's going on? He says, you have what we call NHL. And I'm getting ready to run around the hospital. I thought I'd better hit the lottery. I said, NHL, I'm getting ready to be the youngest on the National Hockey League team. I don't even like the sport. He says, no, you have what we call non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm like, Doc, my first name is Imani, so I'm still trying to learn English. He says, you have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. I'm filling my pockets to find $4. He says, you had stage 4 cancer. I'm like, I'm just starting my life. Now I'm fighting for my life. Stage 4 cancer. Every second American, 2-3 people are diagnosed with cancer. 1 in every 1,000 teenagers is diagnosed. How many of us have been touched by cancer? Show hands. Whether you've dealt with it your own self, lost somebody to it. My best friend died of cancer when I was 7. My aunt died of cancer. My cousin died of cancer. Now I'm fighting for my life, thinking that I'm getting ready to take my last few breaths. Chemotherapy, radiation, 5 days a week, lost all my hair, my self-confidence, my self-esteem, my will to live. My own biological father never visited me one day in the hospital. People who I thought were praying for me were literally praying on me, sitting on the sideline expecting my demise. The days of crying, I remember one day I woke up and I always wore the wave cap going to sleep. Woke up one day and the doctor was telling me a few weeks prior, he said, you know, you're going to get this chemotherapy, this radiation, you're going to lose your hair. I'm like, nah, it ain't going to happen to me. 2 weeks went by, I said, no, I'm good, I'm dealing with nausea. I said, no, my hair is still intact. One day woke up and took my wave cap off, clumps of hair in the wave cap. Put my hands through my hair, clumps of hair in my hands. Ran to the bathroom. Looked in the mirror. I remember like it was yesterday. I cried like I'd never cried before. And my mother came in and embraced me. Amen. I felt like giving up. It was a mother's love that sustained me and kept me alive when I wanted to give up and die. It's the prayers of queens like you. It's the prayers of mothers. It's the prayers of grandmothers that brought me through and told me Psalm 118:17 says, you shall not die, but live in the works of the Lord. Cancer made me cry, but it didn't make me quit. Because I was able to find the first 2 letters in cancer spells what it all. I'm gonna say it loud. You can overcome, you can survive. I'm a living witness. Like my mama told me, she said, everybody gets knocked down in life, but a knockdown is not a knockout unless you stay down. You got to get back up again. You got to understand the fact that challenges create champions. And when it is that you go through the challenge, when you go through the test, when you go through the trial, when you go through the situation, you got to find a place of revelation. God doesn't just allow you to go through things. He allows you to go through it to grow you through it. Because the trying of your faith worketh patience. She talks about the jewel, being a jewel in God's crown. And the fact of the matter, for you to be a jewel, you got to go through the fire. For gold to be what it is, it's got to go through the fire. It's got to go through the stress. It's got to go through the pressing. It's got to go through all of the situation and negativity of what it is to become who it is that you are. Hear me. Somebody is waiting for you to become who you are so they can become who they're supposed to be. Here's the question. How long will you make them wait? Listen, they're going to talk about you whether you succeed or you fail. You might as well succeed and keep on letting them talk. They was talking about you when you was failing. They was talking about you when you was giving up. They was talking about you when you wanted to throw in the towel. But you still here for a reason. Why? Because as long as you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Sometimes, like my brother was saying, that pain develops your purpose. I know it was painful, but when God gets a hold of your life and has his hand on you, what was painful becomes purposeful. Because something on the inside of you is powerful. And so I want us to realize that there's a crown over our head that one day will grow tall enough to where every queen in here, give another queen a hair flip, a high five, 3 snaps in the left row, telling you go. I'm telling you a queen. Real queens don't compete, they collaborate. Real queens ain't just chasing a man, they focus on their purpose and plan. Real queens understand that their royalty demands loyalty. As a result, they wear their crown and they build their queendom in the kingdom of God. Every king in here say, yeah. King means kingly, intelligent, noble, gentleman. Queen, quintessentially unique, empowering everyone naturally. Every one of us has a crown over our head that one day will grow tall enough to wear. It's not just physical, it's spiritual, it's social, it's emotional, it's psychological. It's down those alleys of life for us to develop, for us to grow through what it is that we go through, to understand that we're not just alive to survive.